2011 World Series of Poker Circuit Western Regional Champion Ali Islami may have just won a big $10,000 no-limit hold'em tournament, but he's probably best known for his prowess as a high-stakes limit hold'em cash game player. Islami was even invited to play against the University of Alberta's artificially intelligent heads-up limit hold'em bot, Polaris, a match that he went on to win in partnership with Phil Locke. Islami gave CardPlayer TV some tips about how limit hold'em differs from no limit and how one needs to adjust because of these differences.
All right, so the difference between the no limit play and limit play is basically you have to be much less trappy, much more forward and aggressive with your hand. You also have to be prepared to call with a lot of hands that you would definitely lay down in no limit that you consider would be no good, or hands that you would check because you're concerned or because you wanted to induce a bluff. It's not so much about that. It's more about making the correct value bets, making the correct calls, and also saving that bet on the river. I mean, no limit. One of the tendencies that I see with no limit hold'em players is they get to the river and it's one bet to them, and they're like, "Well, look at the pot size. If this was no limit, I just wouldn't even think about this hand. I certainly would call with anything that I have just in case." Well, it's true. A lot of the time you're going to be calling in limit hold'em because of that, the odds that you're being laid. Good players know when to save that bet.
Because it's harder to win one huge pot in a cooler situation, or by your opponent making a big mistake, limit hold'em is more about maximizing small advantages consistently.
It comes down to getting the one bet and saving the one bet, since you can't get the whole stack in one shot. And also kind of controlling the game as far as like how many players end up in the hand. That's another big thing. Check raising properly, which isn't as big a play in no limit hold'em as it is in limit hold'em. The hands that would be typically considered trap hands in no limit hold'em, like King 10 and King Jack offsuit, those sorts of hands, go up in value quite a bit in limit hold'em. And of course, poker is a zero-sum game, so conversely, the hands that are a lot better in no limit hold'em, such as the 5-6 suited or a 6-7 suited or so forth, because they're trappy and people don't know what you have and you might be able to win a big pot with them, lose a lot of value in limit hold'em. That's another adjustment that no limit hold'em